Well, the Pittsburgh Penguins punched and punched and punched in one instance, quite literally, but they couldn't get that second goal, and they fall in the shootout to the New Jersey Devils here at Prudential Arena 2-1 on Saturday. I am Dan Kingerski on the Pittsburgh Hockey Now platforms, YouTube and in-house and Instagram and wherever else they're putting these videos now. The game is fairly simple to describe and break down for you. The Penguins played a clean, crisp, fast, connected, coordinated game for the most part. They've fairly well dominated the New Jersey Devils, and in fact, with about 9 minutes to go in the third period, they were out shooting New Jersey 30-19. However, the score was just 1-1. The Penguins just couldn't find that bounce. They couldn't find that puck in the right spot. Of course, New Jersey defended hard too. Take nothing away from the Devils, who are atop the Metro Division and now a point ahead of the Penguins atop the Metro. And if I guess as of this afternoon, they're atop the Eastern Conference. So New Jersey is not exactly a slouch, even though their defense is ravaged by injuries. 3 starting defensemen out of the lineup. Let's talk a bit about the Penguins game, though. But first, there's a little issue you might see beginning. There's a villain emerging. Garrett Rank is his name, one of the referees today. He was the same referee last week in Minnesota. I'll call it awkward, debatable goaltender interference penalty that took a goal away from Evgeny Malkin. Turning shot into the net, and Minnesota defenseman Jake Middleton actually contacted Wild goalie Philip Gustafsson. Quick review, nope, confirmed. And then that was also a few minutes later, Brian Rust got the tripping penalty for a shoulder check. You don't see Rust go bonkers very often, and he went bonkers on that call. That was last week. This week, the Penguins got just one power play on Saturday. That includes not getting a power play for Brendan Dillon's forearm shiver to Tommy Novak's melon. Novak had to go, left the final 10 minutes and 18 seconds or so of the first period, returned in the second, but it was a head hit. I mean, let's not kid ourselves. There was also Ben Kindle getting high sticked in the face right in front of the orange armband to no call. There were other things, and even Sidney Crosby very diplomatically but subtly called it out. So would have liked a few more power plays. The Penguins only had one, by the way. I would have liked a few more power plays. Usually when you're playing like that, you get rewarded with a couple more. Well, the Penguins only got one, and since they didn't score on it, the league-leading power play probably shrank just a little bit. New Jersey got a couple, including one in the final 7 minutes. Evgeny Malkin took a cross-checking penalty. Okay. The other call on the Penguins was it was a hooking call on Erik Karlsson. Yeah, you can watch the replay if you'd like to see no hooking. So there is that. But I think there were some real silver linings for the Penguins Saturday. First of all would be the play of their third defense pairing. Yes, Harrison Brunick is sitting out, and they've gone with Ryan Graves and Connor Clifton. You might say, that pair was quite good on Saturday. And I mean that. They were good at both ends of the rink. Graves had 3 shots on net, including a goal. It was off of Andre Palat's face, and I joked with Ryan Graves a bit after the game. I wandered over after he was done talking to the media, or at least the media scrum. I said, have you ever scored a goal off someone's face before? He's like, well, no, but if you have gone off my face. Fair joke, right? Fair point. No, Graves was not just solid as he was on Thursday. He was downright good. He was moving well. He skated the puck out of trouble. His breakout passes were generally on the mark. He boxed out in front of the net. That is, if the Penguins could probably take one thing from Saturday and just replicate that for the rest of the season, it would be how Graves played in front of his own net today. He kept Artie Shelov's eyes clear. Shelov was able to make the saves, and in doing so, Shelov's played really well in 65 minutes. Stopped 24 of 25 shots. Controlled his rebounds very well. He absorbed shots, probably for the best he's done all preseason and season. Unfortunately, as we talk about silver linings, we also have to talk about disappointments. And, the Penguins' inability to finish, that was a little bit of a frustration for them. The shootouts remain a problem. The Penguins have now given away 3 points this season. Artie Shelov's 3 starts, or actually 9 starts, 3 shootouts, and he's made 1 shootout save in 8 attempts against. That's a bit of a disappointment. So, all in all, you really begin to see a Penguins team emerging. I suspect if the third pairing continues to play this well, they might make the Harrison Brunick decision for the Penguins. I also suspect a few more of you will be buying Ben Kindle jerseys. Streets ahead, that kid. I don't know how many plays you could see on television, him getting from one spot to the next before the puck. On their one power play, New Jersey couldn't clear because Kindle stole it twice, including racing from the wall to the slot before the defenseman could turn to shoot the puck out of the zone. He was on it that quick, and his passing is pinpoint and crisp, and he's playing to that next level right now. There are some great rookies in the NHL this season, and he won't win the Calder Trophy, but he's certainly setting himself up for a long career as a Pittsburgh Penguin. Sidney Crosby with a couple of brilliant plays as well. The fourth line with Danton Heinen, Blake Lizotte, and Connor Dewar, they were solid. They nullified Jack Hughes. Understand that. Sheldon Keefe working the matchup, trying to get Jack Hughes in the top line against the Penguins' third pairing. That's Graves and Clifton. Also against the Penguins' fourth line. And I would say the Penguins won the battle. That's huge. You can take Jack Hughes out of the game, you've got a very good chance of winning, which the Penguins should have done. All right, I've got to drive home from New Jersey, and it's already after 5 o'clock, so I will be covering the Kings game. We'll have more content. Shelley is helping me this weekend with a bit more content. We've got that conversation with Ryan Graves. Check PHN for that, because it was, a player sometimes just makes an innocuous comment. And what Graves said, was a bitter pill to swallow being sent down. Because I said, are you putting the past behind you and really settling in here? Fair question. Certainly, wasn't one of my gruff questions that I guess I have asked in the past. And he's like, well, it was a bitter pill. But I got to work on my game down there, unlike I could have here. And I, hang on, wait, explain that. And he did, and we're going to have a pretty good story with Ryan Graves coming up on Pittsburgh Hockey Now. Plus, check out the report card. And I've got a special story with Ville Koivunen as well. Oh, did Koivunen... Oh, he had his first goal today. Oh, it was right there. He put the shot right where he wanted, and Jake Allen made an unconscious save. Allen just had his glove kind of right in the spot, didn't even see the shot. Koivunen... literally put his head in his hands. Like, wow, what do I have to do? For the record, I told Ville on Friday, you're getting your first goal this weekend. I thought I was prescient. Maybe it'll happen on Sunday. But we've got some Ville Koivunen story as well. So check out Pittsburgh Hockey Now. This was a fun game to watch. I don't know how you perceived it, but if the Penguins play that game for the next 4 or 5 months, they'll be just fine. All right, from the Prudential Center, I'm going to sprint to my car and then drive home. Have fun.